Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party finalized their preparations for the coming ball. Caleb attended to matters of state back in his kingdom before making his way to the ball with advisors in tow, attempting to solidify his grasp on his new territories. But word is that while Bullhammer has so far been cooperative, there is a bit of resistance from Darkrise. It appears that they are still a bit sore about their unexpected new ruler. Meanwhile, the rest of the party prepared wedding gifts and their fineries, or in Zephyr's case, simply prepared for the cold, as the next step in your journey takes you to the freezing north of Yav, one of the coldest regions in the world, the territory of the giants, where on a small lighthouse island off the coast of the mainland, you are greeted by where the ball is to be hosted by the Queen Wyborn, one of the inner circle of the Scar Concord. Arriving at the island, you prepared your fineries for those who brought them, your gifts for the wedding for those who brought those, and met with an unexpected guest in the form of King Song, Queen Wyborn's immediate neighbor, who has already begun buttering up to the women of the party, and at least attempting to be friendly to the men. But before you could establish much more with the mysterious king, the doors were opened, and while the bulk of the guests have not arrived yet, for all intents and purposes, as far as your functions are concerned, the winter ball begins. As the door opens, you see standing before you in the shadow of the doorway, Queen Wyborn and President Ergos. You can see Wyborn has definitely gotten bedecked for the festivities. You can see that she's currently dressed in a black cloak with gold trim. The cloak is much, much longer on the left side, covering her entirely, but just up to the shoulder and buttoned on the right, with her arm from the shoulder down completely exposed, other than a bracelet on her right wrist. You can see her hair is tied up in a bun with and held in place by this opalescent crystal that's keeping it in place, with a few braids of pearls and gem shards hanging from it. You can see that the left side of her face, oddly, is covered by a kind of blackish brown mask, like Phantom of the Opera style.
This is Wyborn, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see that over where the eye of the mask would be is the visage of the Scar Concord. She is wearing her loyalties proudly. You can see that she's wearing a bejeweled choker, and beneath the black robe, a small but revealing and, shall we say, flattering black vestment. Black kind of legging nylons, exposing a bit of skin at the thighs, and high black heels. She is the picture of the Dark Queen Wyborn. Next to her, you can see President Ergos, who is, for her part, dressed a lot more humbly. You can see that, likely given the loss of status she endured, she is not dressed in much in the way of fineries. Her hair is the same way you remember it being during your rebellion, but you can see that she has exchanged the rather sleek, kind of humbler wear of the of her religious position. You can see has been replaced with just a simple, fashionable, and practical, but not, you wouldn't guess she was nobility just by looking at her if you didn't know her, this poofy woolen white jacket with those little black flecks in it. Definitely some kind of creature's fur. Beyond that, though, her vestments are, again, fairly humble and down to earth. Her hands are clasped together and her head bowed with her eyes closed. As you can see Wyborn, for her part, her exposed hand on her hip, cocked to the side and smiling at the gathered nobility that stands before her. You can see Sundragon kind of stretch her fingers like she's trying to subtly crack her knuckles. Autumnfall, for her part, just stares, keeping her expression neutral. Wyborn, for her part, gives a smile and, with her free hand, gestures and steps aside to allow you entry. I see we were right to prepare the festivities a bit early. Come.
These were the ones that got married, right?
No, that's why son.
My son. Okay.
No, this.
Inside we go.
I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. Okay. I'll go last.
All right, Zephyr, what were you saying, real quick?
Go. Yeah, that's cold.
Yep. I agree.
As Lucian passes by, she'll kind of I don't know if this is gonna if what I'm about to say is gonna make any sense at all, but it's gonna be one of a very curt, sassy, curtsy, but she's just she's gonna have her friendly, she's gonna have her meeting people face on, and thank you for graciously hosting us so early.
Of course. Always a pleasure to have such fine guests. Who are you again?
Can I insight her? Is she
Roll
being
insight.
Is she? I feel like she's just being a bitch.
Yeah, is she being catty? Roll insight.
Being catty. I don't know. Insight. Okay. Even though Jeremy literally told me 5 minutes ago to pull up my sheet, I still haven't.
This is literally why he said it. You still didn't do it.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you know I don't do everything. Okay. 15 plus 9.
So 24.
I'm not very good at following instructions. I'm sorry.
She definitely does recognize you. However, you don't get the impression she's just making fun of you for the obvious, just trying to embarrass you. You get the impression that there's more to that question than just trying to tease you. She knows something.
Oh, interesting. I just kind of give a soft chuckle. Very amusing, Your Majesty.
Well, if you are with real nobility, then I suppose you are welcome as any other. Please.
She did not just fucking say that shit. She's just like, I am somebody's day tonight, so don't you worry about me.
She just smiles and allows you entry.
This is going to be an interesting night.
As you enter, you see that stretching all around you, Zephyr, you immediately clock there's something fishy. This room is far bigger than the lighthouse outside has any right to demonstratively be.
It's big.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Lord
But you can see stretching in all directions is a wide open room. You can see a few areas are large dining tables that have noticeably, you see, have been shielded from all sides by these large kind of not plastic, but like this kind of uh, parchment, like almost bamboo-esque sheets that are strung up to shield the tables from view. So like there's all these different dining tables. Some of them are visible, but you can see there's like sections of them that are completely closed off. Like people from the outskirts would not be able to see who's sitting there, let alone pick up what they're saying. Likely for privacy. Lucian,
Okay.
you can also see on either side of the room at the far walls, cut into the foundation itself, are booths, like little private rooms with a table, seats surrounding them on all sides, and while you do not see food being served yet, you can see every table has plates and silverware already good to go.
Oh, interesting. So are these booths like okay, okay, I have like two separate pictures and I guess I'm like trying to like, theater of the mind kind of thing. So like are they like booths like if you were like to go to like a restaurant, or are they like a private booth like if you were like to go to a club and
Club.
you could have a secret meeting.
Club. Absolutely club.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
like, it's
yeah,
like
Kind
an
of like gives off
alcove.
the vibe of like, oh, like if you want to sit here and talk and have a meeting, you can do that.
yeah, essentially, you can see that the room has effectively been divided into three sections.
Okay.
Publicly viewable tables, where you and the people you sit with would be visible to everyone.
Uh-huh.
The closed off tables, where the people you meet with are completely shielded. So whoever you meet with will be almost completely private. And then the booths, where it gives you some privacy so you won't be eavesdropped on or overheard easily, but it makes who you're meeting with visibly obvious.
Okay.
So you got pretty much different levels of
Of like privacy.
political advantages.
Exactly.
Ones you don't associate with, ones people expect you to associate with, and ones, well,
You want
yep,
to make a point to be seen with them.
yes.
Gotcha. I got you.
You can see this room is massive, but at the end of it all, at the very far end of the room, you see an elevator, similar in design to the one that took you to the Concord lab back in Toradana.
Lucian's like, are there stairs instead of an elevator?
Oh my goodness, Lucian asked for stairs.
She
Looking
doesn't
around,
like elevators. You know this.
looking around, Lucian, you do see a set of stairs on either side in the far corners of the room that lead to a balcony that overlooks this dining area. And then you can see a set of double doors, presumably leading elsewhere, but that's all you see.
Okay, so I could take the stairs if I wanted to.
In theory, but you have no idea where they go.
Oh,
Granted, you don't know where
okay.
the elevator goes either, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But it doesn't look like it's open. Like, does it look like I could go over there and like ride the elevator? Like, does it look like anybody would stop me?
You don't see any guards.
Okay, so I'm just like trying to, suss out the.
That's fair. These are the questions. As you all take in the room, Queen Wyborn smiles and turns to all of you. I think, given our past issues, it would be wise to be transparent with one another.
I tilt my head. Whatever do you mean, Your Grace?
This is will be your main source of mingling here at the ball. I have no interest in hosting any sort of tournament. I feel like encouraging bloodshed on my soil sends the wrong message. She points upward. The floor above us will be your rooms. I have ensured that they are all designed to only allow those meant for them entry. You will have no worry of intruders or thieves while on my premises.
Oh, that's very gracious of you, Your Grace. Do we have information to like what our room numbers are?
She gives you a smile and gestures upwards again. When you are ready to head to your room, simply find me or Ergos, and we will escort you there. For security, I have not broadcast where the rooms are located.
Of course, that is completely understandable.
The
Very
floor
well
above.
planned out.
Well, I know that there may be concerns with me being here, and I simply want to ensure that there is no form of misunderstanding. The floor above that will be the bathhouse. You're free to mingle with the other guests there if you wish, but it will be public. But we do have private baths if that makes you uncomfortable.
I feel like at this point she's looking directly at me.
Actually, no, you see, she's directing that more at Caleb.
Oh, interesting.
The floor above that is my quarters. The elevator will take you straight to my office. If you wish to find me, simply go there, and if I'm not busy with the other guests, you will find me. If you don't find me, then you will find one of my servants who would be more than happy to find me on your behalf. I ask that you please do not go to any of the other floors. They are simply for the staff, the kitchens, that sort of thing, and most of us are nobility here. We have no reason to mingle with the help.
How unique of that to be the help have the higher floors. Is there a purpose of that?
Oh, I never said they had the higher floors.
Touche. I was just curious.
You will be free to mingle among the guests as you wish. Do not let me stop you from enjoying the solstice. Is there any questions, or shall I leave you to it?
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Very, very self-explanatory, Your Grace. Well done.
Thank you for hosting us, Your Majesty. Yeah, thanks. Well, this certainly looks like a party. When's lunch?
Who was that?
Son, or song.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna say
thought so.
that
I
one was
thought it was
Jay.
either Aggie, because like their voices are very same, like very similar to
That
me. I was like,
to sound pretty similar.
that's why I
Yeah.
was like, was
They-
that Aggie?
They're both muscleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my muscle heads. Okay, jeez.
Yeah, no, that was song.
Not a thought between those ears. It's cute.
Food will be served as soon as the solstice itself arrives. However, if you do wish to be served early, I can make arrangements with the staff downstairs. I think we're all right. Suit yourself. Enjoy the ball. Happy solstice. And in the meantime, I will need to ensure that I'm here to greet the next set of guests when they arrive. Ergos and I will be outside if you have need of us.
Oh,
Ta-ta.
I'll do a bow and I'll say, "Happy solstice."
She gives you a grin, and it's hard to tell because of the mask covering her other eye, but you can see she gives you what you guess is supposed to be a wink. As she snaps her fingers, Ergos kind of jolts in place and follows her as they take their leave to wait outside for the remaining guests.
Just like the slightest, very, very subtle purse of the lips as they turn away.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
That's a word for it.
Wow, it certainly looks like some party. I don't know how she fit all this in a lighthouse.
Do I can I tell if this place is like enchanted, perhaps?
Oh, it is
To-
definitely magically enhanced to be bigger.
Well, I would
Roll
like
Arcana.
to confirm that instead of just assuming.
Roll
You said
Arcana.
roll Arcana?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard right.
In the meantime, Wyborn takes her leave with Ergos. Autumnfall and Sundragon find seats in one of the just visible tables to discuss the situation with each other. And
Oh,
Song, for
okay.
his part, smirks and just kind of starts wandering around, hands in his
Oh,
pockets, not seeming to be looking for anything in particular.
I'll join Aggie.
Right.
While I'm looking around. Dirty 20.
This place is definitely enchanted, but you don't know necessarily what the nature of the enchantment is. It definitely can't be a like pocket dimension. Otherwise, the moment you guys walked in with your 80 bags of holding, it would have just exploded.
Right.
Whatever's going on here is definitely some kind of advanced enchantment. You're just not sure exactly what nature it is. But whatever it is, you know it's definitely not any kind of pocket dimension. Maybe illusion magic, but you're not sure what purpose that would serve. It's hard to say, but definitely some magical chicanery is up.
Question to myself. Do I want to spend 10 minutes trying to cast Identify? Because otherwise, it's gonna bother the hell out of me.
Well, bear in mind, identify would identify an item, not like the spell.
Okay, but like if I touched like the castle or the lighthouse wall and I cast Identify on like the wall or like the foundation, would it work?
Maybe.
Because like it's an item technically.
You would have to cast it and find out, I'm afraid.
I don't want to take 10 minutes to do that.
All right. Well, that settles that.
I'm gonna follow Jay.
Hello, sorry.
He seems my kind of guy to hang out with at this kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Sundragon and Ray.
Got it. All right. Real quick before I start giving results, Zephyr, were you gonna say something real quick before I get to Caleb?
I was just saying hello.
Yeah. Welcome, Caleb. Glad you could join us. Don't worry, you didn't miss too much. Just to quickly go over so that you know what everyone else knows so far. You guys got welcomed in. Wyborn is hosting as promised. You can see, though, that she is wearing a mask on the left side of her face, Phantom of the Opera style, and visibly wearing the emblem of the Concord. She's not even hiding that she's with them at this point. You can see the interior is this massive dining area divided into different sections based on essentially how private you want to be with who you meet with. One that's just publicly visible to everyone, one that's kind of walled off so that you can meet in private with people, and one that's like private booths where people can't eavesdrop on you easily, but people will be able to obviously see who you're meeting with. She mentioned that the floor above you is the bedrooms. Every room has been somehow sealed to prevent anyone but the person meant to be there from entering to avoid thieves. Basically, once you're ready to turn in for the night, find her or Ergos to be shown your room, because only those two know which room is which to, again, avoid assassinations and thieves. The room above that is a bathhouse, big public bath, but with a few private baths if that makes you uncomfortable. And then finally, the floor above that, which is her office, which she just said, go there if you have any questions, and either me or my servants will help you with whatever you need. Her only request is basically do whatever you want. Just obviously don't get into fights. She doesn't want to do a tournament because she thinks that would send a bad message. And don't go to any of the lower floors because that's just servants' quarters and stuff. And, you know, your nobility, there's no reason for you to be seen with the help. She is currently waiting outside to wait for the other guests. Lucian is meeting with Autumnfall and Sundragon. What's is hanging out with King Song. What would you like to do?
That I did not process anything that was said.
Well, do you have any preference on who you wish to stick with?
Let's see. So is everyone here yet?
Right now it's just Wyborn, Ergos, Song, your party, obviously, Autumnfall, and Sundragon.
Whichever one we know, except for Song is guy.
I guess he'll just I guess since he doesn't know much about what's his name, Stong, he'll try to glean what he can from him.
All right. And Zephyr, what will you be doing?
Killing. I guess I'll just kind of look around, see what there's any interest.
Okay. Zephyr, roll investigation. And give me just a second to pull up what I need. All right. What's-is and Caleb. The two of you follow behind King Song, who looks up curiously as the two of you take up in his footsteps and gives a smile. Hey, fellas.
Hey, let's see if we can find some alcohol in this party, huh?
You and me are going to be best friends. Calling it now. He throws his arm around your shoulder and gives you that, like, kind of side hug.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
sounds
there's two of
sounds
them.
good to me.
So, what brings you guys here? I mean, I know these kind of hoity-toity parties are sort of the duty of the nobility. He does big air quotes when he says that. But, you know, I'm curious. Usually you political types always got some kind of agenda.
Yeah, to be honest, trying to get yogurt for my dad. You know how it is, successions and all that.
Yeah, the old Yavik tradition of patricide. I get you.
Don't like where he's going with the country, so got to change it up a little bit.
I don't think much of anyone does, my man.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
That's what my last few girlfriends said about me. As you guys are walking, Caleb, you catch sight of a somewhat familiar figure in one of the booths. You see his hair's grown a bit longer, but it's still that same silver. And while his facial hair has grown out, it's still recognizably the man. The Father Khan of the Humor Empire.
Ooh.
He must have been let in early. You can see his feet are still just kept under the table of the booth, but you can see the usual pile of healing clay, keeping them shielded and attempting to restore his movement. He sits alone, but you can see a few giants are just kind of milling around in the back corners of the party. You don't recognize a lot of them, however, you can pick out one of them is definitely a swamp giant, like one of the ones that invaded Tebedra. Maybe this is the giant equivalent of nobility, or maybe the Humor just brought them as bodyguards. It's hard to say. But you can see he definitely sees you as you walk by and stares at the three of you with his beady, dark eyes and just gives you a small smirk and a nod.
I will return it. As I walk by.
Ha.
That's mean. That's
More
fucking
like
mean.
I feel like this is more like a strut than a walk.
Eh? I'm not the one that got himself crippled.
Wow.
Yet.
Yeah, yet. Also, you did. You very much did, Mr. Prosthetic Arms.
I was literally just about to say, says the guy with the two metal arms.
Okay, crippled to the point where he couldn't walk.
Well, give it time. We still got some campaign left.
Oh yeah.
He does not bother you, just giving you a nod of the head. Song just completely ignores him, seemingly. However, once you guys are a bit further away from him, he does pipe up again. That guy gives me the creeps.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And make sure you watch where you sit, because I'm not sure these giants are going to.
Ugh.
How big exactly are these giants in here?
What's is kind of taking a look around. They vary in size wildly because it appears to be all different types. But you can see the smallest ones appear to come in at about like 9 to 11 feet. But the biggest ones you can see are starting to scrape like 24, 25 feet.
I imagine
Okay.
Gil's like, I could take it.
Yeah, I could arm wrestle that.
Yeah, if he used one of his potions, he could.
The
Well,
giants
as far as
themselves.
height goes.
The giants themselves don't trouble you either. However, you do see them staring at the three of you, just completely uncloaked.
That's weird.
The giants. There's not much up there in the head, so at least they're pretty straightforward on their intentions. I do not say that out loud.
Yeah, no, I assume. Song, for his part, just continues to walk you guys around, just kind of surveying the people who are immediately here. At a glance, it appears, other than all of them, all of the immediate guests appear to be here. So, right now, it appears the nobility is Humor and a few giants, Wyborn and Ergos, Autumnfall and Sundragon, King Song, and all of you. However, Wyborn did say she's expecting more guests before the solstice.
Okay.
I did find it interesting that Wyborn was wearing black and
Oh, no,
not
it's very on
the
brand for
winter ball collars.
It's actually on brand for her.
And yes, that is very interesting. What's this?
Hmm.
So, I mean, other than the obvious them trying to kill you guys thing, what's your beef with these Concord guys anyway?
Eh. Honestly, the biggest thing is them trying to kill us. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that and they're not very careful about who they kill either to get what they want.
Eh.
Once again, politics.
You sure you're Gyogren? That doesn't sound like Gyogren talked to me.
Well, let's see. How much do you know about the fight between the Western Alliance, our group, and the Scar Concord?
About as much as anyone else, I reckon, who's not actually involved in it. I saw what went down at the ball, managed to fight my way out of that, got a few glimpses of it, heard stories. Not sure how much of it I believe, but I prefer to believe the most interesting version.
Well,
But I'm all ears. His ears give a little wiggle.
eh,
If
He
you want.
wiggled his ears?
Yeah.
That's adorable!
well, putting it simply, I am not completely Gyogren. On the outside, I am, but I'm also combined with another person, which was because I was killed, and this is how I was revived. So I have both the memories of Gyogre with the occasional snippet from the other soul.
Well, for what it's worth, you can see his ears wiggle again. I know how it
Cute.
feels to have a foot in two worlds.
Oh. That's interesting for him to say.
Anyone gives you trouble, you take it up with me.
I'll let him.
I think I might take you up on that.
He gives you a broad smile and looks to you as well, Caleb, and gives a nod. You too, little buddy. Don't let any of these old bastards push you around, huh?
Oh, I never would let them do that.
Yeah, that's a Tebadron, all right. He reaches out and kind of tousles your hair.
You know, I had a feeling he would do that. Like before we came to today's session, like I bet you he'll do that.
He's a very touchy-feely guy, apparently.
Yeah, he's already hugged kissed Lucian's knuckles, and fucking tousled your hair.
Sounds like he sees you as a girl or as a kid. Like cut his hand off.
He continues to walk you guys around. You can see he's looking around, but you're not sure exactly what he's looking for. Oh, it's probably just sightseeing.
They're just seeing probably who shows up, who doesn't, how they appear as far as clothes go.
Yeah, not everyone's here yet, so this is still the what you call it,
The fore party.
yeah, yeah, this is the foreplay.
You beat me to it.
But I am going to keep my eyes out for what's his dad and sister,
Noted.
and their mother if she comes this time.
Noted.
Since she was never really one for parties, but she might show.
Guess we'll find out. Lucian, as you take your seat with Autumnfall and Sundragon, you're able to overhear parts of their conversation.
Well, I'm sitting right next to Aggie, so.
I really don't like this. Well, I can't complain overly so about the guest list so far. You're just saying that because you think Song's hot. Her face kind of reddens and she kind of adjusts her dress.
Lucian goes, "You do."
Besides the point, he has more than proven his loyalty during his time as monarch. I believe it would be prudent to trust him, especially as that means we would have an ally on the front lines with Wyborn.
Well, it looks like Wesses is really making buddy with him, so we may get lucky, if he, doesn't say anything stupid.
Yeah. So is his little majesty. Come to think of it, the two of them actually do look kind of alike.
Who are they talking
Oh,
about?
Caleb and Song?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
I
like
squint. Do they even look?
Roll perception.
Yeah. Do they even look like they could be related? Maybe.
Well, roll and find out.
Maybe your dad's not actually your dad. Ooh, 12 plus 9.
All right. Honestly, looking them over, it's not that ridiculous. Like,
I mean, they're both human, right?
Song styles his hair differently and has a deeper tan, but yeah, if Caleb cut his hair and spent more time in the sun, worked out a bit, honestly, yeah, him and Song don't look too dissimilar.
Yeah, I mean, they're both human presenting, right?
Yeah, human presenting, blonde, same kind of physique.
Yeah, Lucian just kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, just kind of making a compare and contrasting, and then just kind of I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, Aggie, but I mean, all humans kind of look the same to me.
She gives you a befuddled look, but you can see Autumnfall just kind of nod. It's true. But, Agnes, you still should not say things like that here. What's the problem? It's just an observation. An observation that can be overheard.
Oh, what? You don't want people to know that you totally are into him? She kind of gives a shit-eating grin and looks at Aggie.
Agnes grins as well, but Autumnfall basically takes both of you by the ear. Face red, but Besides the point,
I take back my ear. You're not my mother. Stop it.
then stop acting like a child. This is an event for nobility. The last thing we need to do is be encouraging gossip. We're going to be enduring enough as it is.
I
Oh,
was going
come
to
on.
say, isn't that what politics is? It's just a gossip that gets people killed.
But it just the Caleb just like materializes.
Yeah, she's like, coming over to the table. Autumnfall kind of furrows her brow and shoots Agnes and Lucian a look of not a fucking word before looking
Lucy
at Caleb.
just like puts her hands up in mock surrender.
More or less, yes. I'm simply encouraging all of us here to watch what you say and who you say it to, and frankly, just in general, you never know who might be listening.
Well, I mean, from what I hear, they're always listening.
Oh, we should assume that and act accordingly. Her eyes dart to each of you in just quiet warning. As far as she's concerned, she doesn't care if you're talking to your best friend or even by your fucking self. You don't say anything that could be taken as gossip about anyone, unless you deliberately want to stir the pot.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little gossip does, maybe some good. Maybe we can distract them with some hot tea. She like emphasis hot to Ray.
An interesting proposal, but I suggest if you're going to start slinging mud, you prepare to get dirty yourself.
I've known to play in the mud once in a while. It's very good for your skin, you know.
Oh yeah,
Look at Aggie.
plus it makes a good lubricant.
What Aggie said that?
Yeah.
Lucy just got. She's like, yeah. Wait, what?
Autumnfall just kind of shakes her head, just like, again, surrounded by fucking idiots.
What do you mean lubricant? Like for gears?
I mean, in a sense.
It's like, sure.
How does that work?
Caleb's just like, I'm sure someone will explain when you're older.
I'm older than you.
Well, I've been doing mud wrestling since I was a kid.
What is mud wrestling?
She gives you a smirk, and you can see her eyes kind of dart to you, Caleb, and wink. I'll tell you when you're older.
I'm older than you.
Again, Autumnfall just fingers to her temple. Zephyr. Your investigation from earlier.
Investigation.
23.
Very nice. Okay. Zephyr, as you look around, you can see that, again, the party's still basically being prepared. It's just, oh, the Concord conveniently got let in early. How about that? But you don't immediately see anything that catches your attention, since, again, the party's still kind of getting started. However, you do catch a few things that at least catch your eye. First of all, you notice the lighting in this room. You initially thought that maybe it was a trick of the light, that light just everywhere you go seems to be illuminated. And then initially, whenever you notice, no, that's definitely not a coincidence. It looks like areas where there aren't any people are completely dark, but areas where there are people are illuminated as if by spotlight. But as you turn your attention upwards, you notice everyone at the ball is being followed by a lantern.
Oh, interesting. Oh. Oh.
You also notice, Zephyr, that there are what appear to be two statues of Queen Wyborn flanking the elevator. However, on closer inspection, as you kind of look them over, I'm going to send you a private message real quick.
Oh. DM whispers.
Yeah, I'm going to DM whisper you real quick.
DM whispers.
Now that's some hot tea.
It is some hot tea.
Just messaged you, Austin.
Also, hot tea sounds so good right now.
The other thing you notice, Zephyr, is looking over the giants that attended with Humor. You notice that they are all unarmed, but a lot of them are laden in, well, calling them fineries is not exactly applicable to giants. You do notice that they are dressed in what appears to be an attempt at finery. You can see a few of the smaller giants are actually wearing suits that are like stretching at the seams.
Oh, they're singing.
And you can see some of the bigger giants that just can't wear stuff like that are wearing like they're like draped in jewels and fineries, and you can see one of them is donned in just full out gold armor.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
these giants are either important in some way, possibly giant nobility, or at least attempting to present as important. But these giants are definitely a cut above their more simple-minded kin. Either Humor's making an effort to make them presentable, or perhaps they are themselves making that effort. You don't know which, but you know someone is doing the thinking here. Either Humor, someone else, or even the giants themselves. But those are the three things you notice with your investigation check.
See, I know I'm in Lucian mode because, like, in my head, she goes, "They can think."
I'm in
They can
Zephyr
do
mode.
that?
I'm just thinking to myself, can I steal the giant armor?
You can try.
Like,
I'll go ahead and pull up his stats just in case.
Oh my god, mine is, but like, seriously, every contingency, I swear.
I told you guys I was prepared.
Okay.
But he doesn't just steal the armor, but steals the entire giant with the armor.
If Zephyr manages to steal armor off of a fucking giant, I'm gonna.
I don't see how that would be possible.
Sarcastically.
I was like, I don't see how
You're
that would be
what?
possible. But
Yeah. So, what do you do anything, Zephyr? Or are you just gonna take all that knowledge and go?
well, how high is the lantern?
Just a second. There you are. Sorry, this is a specific thing I needed to pull up here.
That is fair. Do I see my lantern as well?
I'll say,
I'm just
Zephyr,
curious.
since you did roll to notice it first, are you okay with that? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, if you look up, you'll see them.
Those are interesting. What color lights?
You notice they're just typical lantern color.
So they're not blue.
They are not blue.
Change color. So how high are the?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Sorry.
Yeah,
They're not as high as me.
You can see they are about 30 feet above you.
I can't. Hmm. While looking upwards, honestly, I don't really care what the others think. I'm not really necessarily hiding this. So, while looking up, I'm just gonna kind of go invisible and start like moving around and see if those lanterns follow.
Okay. Okay. Here, let me pull this up real quick to actually see if that'll work.
It's like, are they based off sight?
Alright, I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah. There you are. All right, Zephyr. As you hit your button and turn invisible, fading from sight, you start walking around. The lantern does not follow you.
And
Here's invisibility at the very least. Shields you.
what on sight? We'll also cast detect magic.
You'll cast what? Sorry, your mic's a little quiet.
Detect magic. Ah, I see magic.
Okay. You notice that each of the lanterns does give off a magical aura. Specifically, you can see they give off a... Totally. It's always like the kind of magic that fucks me up.
Yeah, which
You can see they give off, interestingly, 2 auras. One of abjuration and one of conjuration.
Oh, interesting.
so when I go invisible and move, will I have to just stay still or is it disappear?
Yeah, it just stops.
Now, are all the lanterns at the same level? Well, I assume the giants are probably higher, but
Yeah, and actually no. They're all in that like 30-foot off the ground position.
try something here.
Uh-oh.
And when he's done, I want to try something.
Noted.
Well, I'm gonna go over to like I guess one of our groups, and like I want to
You
have
can
it.
come over to me if you want.
Sure, man. I didn't really specify who. I'm just like I want to basically get between. I want to have them between me and the lantern, or like have them between me and the lantern. See what happens if I go on invisible.
Am I
Noted.
just like sitting there watching Zephyr just like what is he doing?
Well, I'm invisible, so
Yeah.
Unless
But
you-
all you know is you were sitting there talking to Caleb, Autumnfall, and Sundragon, and then Zephyr just suddenly reappears as if he was there the whole time.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why I am surprised, but I am.
Yeah, Autumnfall doesn't react in the slightest, just going to say something to Zephyr, but I'll wait until the Zephyr gets what he's actually wanting first. Zephyr, as you reappear, remember, this room is fairly big, and you were like on one side, and now you went to the other. As you reappear, the lantern does not follow you. It just stays where you left it on the other side of the eatery.
Can I try something with the lantern?
Sure, but Zephyr, just as you reappear, Autumnfall barely reacts. Sundragon does kind of visibly startle a bit, but she manages to keep her cool for the most part. Autumnfall, for her part, just waves a hand. Happy Kupalo, Zephyr. Anything of note you found so far?
well, besides this place being dangerous, but you know.
Yeah, we gathered that much. Dangerous how? What'd you find?
Well, not sure what causing them to happen, but those turns about to have some. Well, not sure how they
check?
work.
Can I check with them? Can I take one? Can I like literally just like take one out of like the
There.
sky and like bring it down to me and like can I like inspect it and like try to figure out how it works?
How do you intend to get up there?
Oh, like I was just like saying if one is like flying around me, is
Well,
there
they're
one
30
flying
feet
low
in the
enough to
air.
wait?
Yeah, each of them float 30 feet above you.
All 30
Okay.
feet.
Like the only one who could get one is What's because he could fly.
Well, no. We all just flying. Have to get on our broom.
Yeah, I just have to get on my broom. How am I going to reach it? Actually, I think I might have something for this. Hang on. Let me double check before I say anything.
In the meantime,
Okay.
Zephyr, do you have anything else you wanted to share with the queens?
We'll see what she has to experiment with. Maybe can lead to other answers.
You can see Autumnfall and Sundragon both look up curiously at the lanterns.
I'm gonna turn to Aggie, and I'm gonna eye contact her, and I'm just gonna be like, "Do you trust me?"
She goes to answer with a smile, but Autumnfall just elbows her. Explain first.
No, do you trust
No.
not you, her?
Smart answer.
She goes to answer, but again, Autumnfall just grabs her by the arm and just shakes her head. Miss Alefakir, whatever it is you're planning to do, I will remind you that we are being watched.
Oh, I know we're being watched. I'm perfectly aware of that. I guess you just want to know what I'm going to do. What I was gonna do was like Misty step into the air and grab the thing and ask Aggie to catch me when I fall. She kind of like gives one of those like ta-da smiles.
Autumnfall just
easy
quirks
peasy.
a brow.
Easy peasy.
Perhaps some lessons are best learned the hard way. By all means.
Again, Aggie, do you trust me?
Jean looks to Autumnfall for permission, who just waves a hand dismissively. Yeah, I trust you.
All right, you will catch me, yes?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. I'm going to Misty step to. Can I don't know if this is gonna sound stupid or not. It probably is gonna sound stupid, but can I like Misty step on top of the lantern, like where I like land on top of the lantern, and then grab the lantern while I fall?
Sure.
I do I notice
Yeah,
this?
everyone. Nobody can possibly miss this.
Yeah, I was like, we're not being stealthy at all, man. We're just like, all right. We're getting free reign, right?
I want to know what it. I mean, this is very Alephikirian. I don't know what you want.
As we discussed pre-session, you know what consequences are.
I'm going to tap Jay on the shoulder. Ooh, the entertainment's about to start. Just watch.
He looks over curiously as Lucian, you cast your spell, vanish, reappear 30 feet in the air, grab your lantern, and start falling to the ground.
I'll just be like, catch me, Aggie, catch me, catch me, catch me.
Roll athletics or acrobatics, your choice with advantage.
Okay, you said acrobatics or what?
Or athletics, your choice, but whichever one you pick, you have advantage.
Okay.
And
I was gonna.
Misty Step.
I was gonna laugh though if she held onto it and she didn't fall. It was strong enough to keep her up there.
Yeah, that would be funny. 17 plus 2.
Oh.
Lucian, you reappear, grab the lantern, fall to the ground, and Agnes catches you.
Does she catch me bridal style? Please tell me
that's
she
what
does.
to catch you. And you and Song on the other side of the room can hear Humor chuckling to himself at the side, and a few of the giants kind of stare curiously.
I have to agree with Humor on this one, since he does have a good sense of humor.
I would slow
Lucian,
clap if I could.
There you go. Perfect.
Lucian, as you land, you see that everyone in the party is looking at you. Humor and the giants are laughing. You can see the Tabadrins are just hooting and hollering. And Lucian, you now have one of these mysterious lanterns in hand.
All right, how can I figure it out?
Roll investigation.
Okay, investigation. Please, Lucian, be smart. Please, Lucian, be smart. Hang on. D&D Beyond, I swear.
Well, at least we haven't made any more enemies in the Concord. We've actually given them some entertainment.
I mean, they think I'm funny, so I mean, there is that. Investigation. I have a +5 to that. Please, gods. Nice. 18 plus. What did I just say?
23.
All right. Looking it over, you see this lantern is odd. It's not like any lantern you've seen. It's this fine silvery color. And instead of a bulb in the center, there's what appears to be a little ornate, almost statue that's giving off the light.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, is this a statue of
I-
Bloodborne?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I recognize the statue? Can I
The
tell what it
statue
is?
itself appears to be of a small goblin of some kind.
Hmm.
You can see the entire lantern is silver, does not appear to have an obvious source for its light, at least that you can see. The statue is shielded by these stretches of copper wiring, and you can see branded on the center at the base of the statue's feet is Kalum's insignia.
Lucian is going to. She has it. Okay, so she has this lantern in her hands, and just with the minute that she sees that like little insignia, her grip just tightens ever so slightly. But she corrects herself, trying not to like crinkle the lantern. Does it look like, or does it sound like this is like mechanical? Does it look like it's magical?
If it's Kalum, you can assume it's mechanical.
Yeah. Get this thing out of my face. I'm gonna like hand it to Aggie.
You're the one who wanted it. What should I do with it?
I would say to crush it, but that's probably a bad idea.
Not only do we not know what it does, it would send the wrong message to our hosts.
Lucian kind of like gives a very like, she like lowers her eyelids to like look like she's blinking, but she would know that this is like a very annoyed, disgruntled, very subtle disgruntled look.
Agnes just kind of uncomfortably goes to like kind of toss it away from her, but it just starts floating and stays at the level it was.
I don't know what those things are, but they're made by Kalum. So let me just say this again for everybody. Be careful of what you say.
Oh.
You can see Autumnfall does that thing where she wants to bitch about it, but immediately just like bites her tongue.
Because wasn't that what she was just saying?
Yes.
Oh, but like,
That's the exact
you know,
wording.
she literally just said, let me reiterate what has been said.
You said, let me reiterate what I have been saying.
No, that's not what I meant to say.
Well, regardless, Autumnfall dusts at her dress, puts on a strained smile. Very astute, Miss Alefikir. I suppose we now have all but confirmation that we're being watched. She looks up at the lantern following her from the air and just kind of looks away, just kind of blinking as she processes. In the meantime, we have little else to do but fraternize. At the moment, we're outnumbered. We can only hope that our would-be allies join us soon.
Lucian kind of takes a deep, calming breath. Well, she did say that she was expecting more people, so it's fairly possible, but you know, to turn down an invitation would kind of be really stupid.
Early.
Autumnfall gives a small nod. We'll just have to wait and see. Only thing I'm waiting and seeing on is grub.
I despise waiting.
I would check the. But
Do I? I'm sorry. What did you say, Austin? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
simply just to inform them to check the food before.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I had no intentions of doing anything else.
Question, Maddie.
Mhm.
Do I see any hide or hair of Kaloom or my brother?
No, like I said, like between Zephyr, What's-His, and Caleb looking around and exploring, no other nobles are at least obviously here. Just Humor, the Giants, Autumnfall, Sundragon, Song, and Wyborn and Aragos outside.
We are early after all. Would I? Well, I mean, with keen mind, I would know how long until the solstice.
The solstice will officially be starting, just in and of itself, in about 6 hours.
We have some time to kill. What do you guys want to do?
Autumnfall, for her part, kind of mulls it over, and for now, I simply intend to wait. Although, she does consider, and you can see her eyes drift to King Song and What's-His. Perhaps I can attempt to earn us a few allies. Go get him, Tiger. It's merely a political alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I have my eyes on someone else for marriage.
Oh, and who's that?
It's none of your business.
Oh, really? I thought we were friends.
We're allies on a good day.
Oh, you wound me.
I can do far more than wound you if the mood strikes me, Miss Alephakir.
I'm aware.
She stands up and gives a bow to all of you and starts making her way over to Song. You notice, though, she's fighting. Like, you can see her fists are clenched and she's trying to maintain just the proper lady's walk, but you can see she's fighting the urge to, skip her way there.
I'll just, whisper to Aggie, how long do you think it's going to take her?
Figure it out for herself or actually do something with it?
But either.
Do something with it? She's probably planning to start now. Figures it out for herself? I give her a few months.
That's quite generous.
I'm speaking from experience. She gives you a wink. Do any of you have anything you wish to do before more guests arrive?
I'm just gonna hang out with Aggie, whatever she wants to do. She is my date after all.
All right.
Just looking for some alcohol, not too much to get wasted, but enough to take off the edge of politics.
You're just getting drunk. Lucian knows better to get drunk at these things.
Well, yeah, but then you got to consider it makes you look bad if you don't drink. It's like you don't trust them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, no, it's like I was telling you pre-session. Anything you do here, if it can be interpreted bad, it will be.
I guess. That being said, are there servants walking around with drinks that we can?
Not that you can see, but she did say if you needed a servant, you could head up to her office.
I'm going to ask Aggie, do you want to go to the office with me? I kind of want to check it. I kind of want to check it out, but I don't want to go by myself.
She gives a shrug. Why not? You looking? You need something?
Well, I'm just a little curious, she, and also I'm kind of thirsty.
Well, I'm sure drinks are going to be served eventually. Probably just trying to
Eventually.
wait for more people. All right. If you need a servant that badly, come on. I'll hold your hand.
Yay! But are
Like,
you?
Lucian's completely forgotten about the fact that Wyborn's at the door.
Well, no, they're heading up to her office to look for a servant specifically, which she said, yeah, if I'm not there, Ergos isn't there, then a servant probably will be. Okay. Lucian, you and Sundragon take the elevator and head up, while everyone else simply makes themselves comfortable and mingles to the best of their ability.
Adventure with my girlfriend.
Adventure indeed.
Oh no. I don't like the way you said that. I don't appreciate that, Matthew.
Since Lucian messed with it, has Entered followed Lucian?
Yes. It follows her all the way to the elevator, now at ground level since it's been taken from the sky, and even follows her into the elevator.
Oh, interesting.
Agnes's, because it can't get inside, just stops at the wall once she gets into the elevator.
Do I notice it following?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not subtle.
just kind of like as like we're in the elevator. One, I'm holding onto the fucking bar because I hate elevators. And two, I'm just gonna like look at it like with like a very disgruntled face. I really do not like that thing.
Does it
Agnes
speak?
smirks, and as she hits the button to take you to the office on the top floor, as the doors are closing, she gives a kick and sends the lantern out of the elevator.
Please tell me it speaks and says, "I don't like you either, Lucian," with Oakum's voice.
Oh my god, that would be
It
hilarious.
sadly does not.
Dang it.
Pointedly, it does not.
Yet.
Yet, right? I'm just gonna like close my eyes and just be like, please tell me when it's over. I hate these things.
Agnes kind of chuckles, but she does hold your hand and try to keep you calm as you
Ugh, and
rattle your
like the
way
minute,
up the lighthouse.
the minute like the elevator starts moving, she's just like, my stomach's in my butt.
You ascend up 3 floors before you reach the office. You hear and the door opens. And Agnes kind of playfully nudges you. All right, we survived.
She kind of like peeks one eye open and just like sees the doors that are open. She's like, oh, thank God.
She tugs at you for you to exit. You can see now you are in what appears to be a lavish and well decorated hall. You can see that the floor is a deep velveteen red and gold, the Wyborn colors.
Mm-hmm.
You can see stretching in all directions is this carpeting. You can see candelabras, clocks, paintings, mirrors, all sorts of lavishness, like lap of luxury. To your right is a door that is currently closed. But to your left, you can see the hall goes on further and leads to what appears to be a kind of alcove library, books stocked up on shelves with a office desk and chair that currently sit unoccupied, but you can see the room is lit by a lantern glow.
Is it the same fucking lantern? Not like the same
The
one,
exact
but like
same one, presumably, but it likely is the same type.
I'll just like look at kind of like I'm not gonna like make any like noticeable features in case we're being watched, but I'll like give Agnes a like I'm gonna do one of those like quick glance at Agnes, quick glance at the lantern, and then quick glance back at her.
Yeah, you don't see the lantern, you just see its light, but Agnes just kind of gives you a shrug.
Gonna be right back again.
All right,
Okay.
so this is like, are we like outside of the office or like?
Yeah, you'd see the hall goes down to your left and spits out into, you see a desk and chair surrounded by books.
All right, I won't enter the office, but I will give a knock on the door. I'm not going to enter without, permission.
There. Lucian, as you knock on the door cautiously, you hear Wyborn's voice. Can I help you?
May we enter?
You may enter.
All right, I'm going to take Agnes's hand, and she can like feel how like tightly she's holding on. She's so scared, and she will lead the way.
As you enter the office, you can see the glow is familiar, but it's actually not a lantern this time. You can see it's just a candelabra that is, unlike the others, currently lit, casting everything in this kind of comfortable embery glow. You can see the office appears to be empty. You don't know where the voice came from.
I'm gonna look around. Do I see anything? Maybe
Roll
a
perception.
hologram. I was gonna say like maybe a hologram, maybe something to indicate that there is something here. You said investigation or perception?
Perception.
Okay. Perception +9. Ooh, 17 + 9.
26.
All right. Lucian, as you look around, the office appears unoccupied. You don't see holograms, you don't see anything, but you do see there is a door to your right that you don't know where it goes. But as you look around, you hear the voice comes from that door. Something you need?
Sorry, this may be an obvious answer, I guess. Where are you?
I'm currently busy at the moment, but one of my servants can help you if you need assistance.
Does this sound like a pre-recorded message?
Roll insight.
It's a pre-recorded message. Maybe one of those things like we saw down in an edict,
Maybe. Let's find out.
Insight. I also have a +9 with insight. Ooh, again, 17 + 9.
It doesn't have that same kind of tinny quality of the pre-recordings you heard in Edict, but it definitely does sound like kind of flat, like it's something that is being parroted. It's definitely basically it is a recording in the fundamental sense, but it doesn't sound technological.
Do you think that she has maybe like an exotic bird or something? This is weird.
Oh, that'd be cool, like one of those Gigi birds.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She totally
Lou needs a servant. Said that she needs drinks.
I'm real thirsty.
Very well. A servant will be with you shortly to provide you with drinks.
Interesting.
The door that you heard the voice from opens. And what comes stumbling out startles the ever-living fuck out of you, I assume.
Oh.
It's your brother.
Before you say anything, reflexively, I'm going to like do that thing that people do to like protect somebody, like put my arm in front of Agnes, just like reflexively.
As you put your arm in front of her to protect her from the big bag butler, you see stumbling out of the door as it opens It's done in a raincoat that shields it from sight, but you recognize those movements. You recognize the drips coming off of it.
Oh no.
An ichor beast.
Oh no.
It's donned in a raincoat but appears humanoid. But its steps are stumbling and awkward. But as it reaches up its hands, you can see it actually is forming gooey, spindly little fingers. And from the hood covering its head, you hear it speak. Drinks.
Do I recognize this monster at all? Does he
Roll
look
history.
like I've seen him before?
Yeah, roll history.
Okay. I have a feeling I know who this is. And I'm gonna cry. History. What is my history?
They wouldn't be that cruel.
Oh, they would.
Oh boy.
They would. They would absolutely be that cool. 24.
You do not recognize this beast. It appears from its look, it looks like the feral infected you've encountered before. Like the one that isn't a deliberate experiment, just the result of an ichor beast killing someone.
I just kind of make one of those faces of like not like terror, but like, and not like quite hatred, but more like pity and sadness. And I'm going to glance at Agnes. That's an ichor beast.
Yeah, I got that.
Should we kill it?
Like, we can't just kill something we found in our office.
I mean, it's an ichor beast. We have to kill it, right?
Drinks are this way.
Eggy, what do we do?
She kind of puts her hands up, kind of leaving the decision to you.
Don't put this on me. I have a duty to fulfill. If I do this, you don't have to do it. But I have a duty.
Then I guess do it. I'd say start any fights here.
Well, if now's a good time to leave, I guess.
The creature kind of tilts its head, its face still hidden under the raincoat hood. Will there be anything else?
Lucian kind of swallows. What other services can you provide?
Food, drinks, escort.
Eggy can see a tear kind of going down her cheek. Does he look like he's been injured? Does he look like he's been taken care of? Does it like what kind of like I guess condition is it in?
As far as you can tell, honestly, it seems like it's in pretty good condition for an ichor beast anyway. It's clearly semi-stable. It's clothed. It's behaving. It's even speaking, albeit not in its own voice, but speaking.
I'll just kind of take a bit of a swallow. The problem is like it's not being ferocious. It's not being dangerous.
No, I don't want to kill it. I say we
don't-
just leave it.
She kind of like bites her lip. All right. Thank you for your assistance. We will be going back down to the party now.
Very well. It was an honor to serve you.
I'm just gonna leave.
Agnes follows behind, but she closes the office door on her way out. You can see the creature just slurps back into the other side room and closes the door behind itself.
Lucian is trying so hard to not cry, but there are still tears going down her cheeks.
Yeah, you can see Agnes's fingers are twitching as she just kind of guides you back to the elevator and hits the button to get you back to the party. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Aggie, that wasn't just any Icar beast. That was an Icar beast that was once a person.
Liquor beasts were once people, weren't they?
Well, I mean, yes and no. This one was basically human and then got attacked by an Icar beast and then became an Icar beast.
It's behaving.
I know, which is very strange.
I guess now we know why we weren't supposed to see the servants' quarters.
Should we tell everybody?
I think everyone's going to find out one way or the other. You heard what she said. Servants are going to be serving us during this whole party. I think we just saw the servant.
I think they're all going to be like this.
I think we have to at least be ready for that.
They're doing this on purpose. They're trying to show that they can be controlled, but they can't. This is just like an anomaly. Like, this doesn't happen all the time. It's not possible. The math doesn't make any sense.
Obviously, things have changed. We need to just get back to the others and tell them what's going on. I'll grab we'll meet at the table. We need to alliance meeting or something.
We need one of those booths where nobody can hear us. I don't think anybody else should know, and I definitely don't think that they should know that we know.
Honestly, after seeing that, I don't think it matters. Nobody tried to stop us. I don't know if I don't think I'd say they wanted us to find it, but I think they would have at least tried to hide it. No guards, no security. We were supposed to see that.
They definitely wanted us to, or maybe specifically. And she can't say it, but like she gestures to herself. They're trying to get a rise out of us. Start a reason to start something here.
Which is why you need to cool your jets. Just stay calm. We'll let everyone know so that everybody knows it's coming before tonight's banquet. My guess is they're planning to reveal it then. Let everyone see that they've tamed these things.
Or at least what they think is tamed.
I've never heard of one of them doing that before, parroting someone like that.
Well,
they've
I've
talked
seen
like
her.
the people that have been dead before, but Wyborn's still alive.
I've seen a couple of instances where there was parroting, but like you said, nothing close to what this one was doing. It's just, I mean, every Icar beast has its abilities and things that it can do.
Guess we just gotta wait and see.
She kind of gives a nod and starts wiping her cheeks and, you know, prettying up her face again. And she swallows tightly. I'm not going to lie to you, Ag. I'm scared.
We made it this far. We have to stay in control. Don't let them see you're afraid.
I'm not afraid for myself. I'm not even afraid for our party.
Lou, I swear to gods.
You're right. You're right. You're right. She takes like a deep, 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 deep breath. and she is gonna turn to Aggie. Can I have a hug?
She gives a nod, and as the elevator takes you back to the ballroom, she will give you a hug to soothe you. But as the elevator reaches its destination, she releases you and gives you a whisper. Stay calm. We're being watched. And steps away from you and puts on a smile as soon as the doors open.
And I will also do the same.
Depper, what's his? Caleb, you see Lucian and Sundragon return. They were only gone for a few minutes. Agnes is going to approach Song, Autumnfall, and what's his. Lucian, you are free to do as you wish.
I'm just so Agnes said that she was gonna go get Wes's and who else?
Specifically, what's his in Autumnfall, but Song's probably going to overhear it.
Before she scuttles off, I'll add to her. Do you think that we should tell Song? Do you think he knows about all of this? This is gonna be quite a lot for him to take in if we don't invite him. But if we don't invite him, it could look like we don't trust him.
Welcome to politics. I'm going to see what Ray thinks. She seems to like him. I don't know him that well personally. I know him and Shadow Lily were close.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to gather the Tabager boys, and I say we meet in one of those secret booths.
What's his? As Autumnfall, while the Sundragon and Lucian were away, Autumnfall was just trying her best to rizz up Song, which for his party actually does seem pretty receptive, complimenting her, and the two of them seem to be flirting pretty seamlessly. But Sundragon approaches the three of you with a strained but fairly convincing smile on her face. Hey, lady and gentlemen. Song gives a smirk and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. What's his? I don't know what you're seeing, ma'am, but I don't see any gentlemen here.
Oh.
Yeah, just two idiots.
He kind of claps you on the back. Sundragon kind of goes, Ray, Colonel, we need to have an alliance meeting.
Already?
Yeah, it's kind of important. All right. Secret meetings. I'll leave you guys to it. Well, no, I don't think there's any reason you shouldn't attend, James. We can trust him, right?
Oh God. Ray, you have it so bad, girl. Oh my God.
Well, I already told him about the Icar at least, so he is somewhat aware.
Oh, good. So he does kind of know. Well, kind of.
I guess he has got something to do with that.
Sundragon appears to trust you two's judgment and gives Song a nod. All right, just it's kind of heavy. It's politics. How bad can it be?
Pretty bad.
Don't promise me a good time, Colonel.
Oh, well, you've at least been warned. That's all we can do.
He gives you a smirk and a nod. Lucian, you approach the former table where you can see Caleb and Zephyr have been left to their devices for now. To Bader Boys, you see Lucian approach you.
Hello, boys. Would you care to follow me, please? We're going to find a little bit more private booth. She kind of has like that very strained, it's still like a nice smile, but you guys have known her long enough to know that something is up.
All right then.
Honest, how do you propose we do private?
There's a private booth that we can go to.
I'm just gonna look at all the lanterns above everyone.
Yeah, one of which is following Lucian at shoulder level.
I know. Hopefully we can take care of that situation, but nevertheless, she's still like very smiley, like looking like she's happy, like this is a great conversation that we're having, you know. Nevertheless, if you boys could join me and just, just follow me.
All right then.
I'm gonna shoo away that lantern. Shoo,
It does not move.
shoo fly.
The fly does not shoo.
Go on. I'm not your mother. Stop following me.
As the three of you stand, Agnes guides Autumnfall Song and What's-His to one of the walled-off tables, and gives the Tabager boys a, like, similar to Lucian, somewhat strange smile and nod, and kind of ushers everyone into the booth. The lanterns, including the one following Lucian, do not leave you alone.
Well,
How
okay.
do we? She's still like she's like talking through her teeth at this point. How do we get rid of those things?
Okay, the one closest. Can I just grab it and throw it further up into the air?
Yeah. What's-His, you just grab the lantern that's following Lucian and chuck it further into the air.
I gotta get it back up to where it's supposed to be. But I'll make sure to say that out loud.
Yeah. Noted. Zephyr, what were you going to say real quick before we continue?
Not really sure if we can get rid of. Frankly, I don't. Not personally. Also, I was going to ask, is mine still following me, or what's going on with mine?
Yours is currently still staying where you left it, just floating off, looking stupid in the corner.
I love
I
that.
say in the corner, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
It was deuced.
So for now, Zephyr, you appear to be as unobserved as you're ever going to get. As you all gather up in the booth, Autumnfall immediately drops her both flirtation with Song and her visage of unconcern and puts a hand on Agnes's arm. Agnes, are you all right?
Yeah, Lucian also immediately, like as soon as she knows that we are alone and unseen, her entire like everything flops to not panic, but like close to panic.
Let's just say, Lou and I figured out how someone as big of a nightmare as Wyborn is getting servants.
And we also know why they don't want us to see the servants.
Why is that?
They're Icker beasts. All of them. At least
Like,
that's what we think.
but
The butler, we went up there, right? And it's so weird. Like it was copying her voice.
It's like she trained it.
Which I didn't think was possible.
I don't see the problem.
Well, I mean, it's an Icker beast.
Yeah.
But like you said, like I mean, as far as I could tell, it was, it was stable, which is strange because it wasn't just any kind of Icar beast. It was the kind that are created when an Icar beast kills somebody. So I find it really strange that it was like seemingly stable.
Their research must be progressing faster than we thought.
They probably have a way to turn people and make them obedient.
Well, there are a couple ways to do that, and I think it has to do with whatever it is that Lucifer found, or maybe even what Kaloum had found.
We can't rule anything out, but I think the meaning of this is obvious. Whatever you found up there, you were meant to see.
Yes.
Since they did say that her office was allowed to be gone to.
And that a servant would be with you to help find her or get whatever you needed. Obviously, this is an intimidation tactic, showing us how far their research has progressed. I would even go so far as to say it's an attempt to butter up the nobility of Yav to these creatures, show them
That's what
as
I think
harmless
too.
butlers and maids that anyone could have.
That's what I think too. That's exactly what I said earlier, isn't it, Aki?
Agnes gives a somewhat distracted but nonetheless present nod.
You okay, Ag?
Yeah, just
It freaked you out, huh?
yeah, I'm not She kind of shakes her head.
Okay.
This sort of thing is a sore subject. Let's leave it at that.
I understand completely.
Song, for his part, is just sitting, hands steepled, legs kicked up on the table. His face is neutral, just kind of listening. And eventually he gives a shrug and leans forward finally. So, what do we do?
That's what I'm wondering, because my first instinct, as my duty, was to, kill it. But if
You
it's
didn't do that, did you?
no, God, no. Aggie
Good.
talked me out of it.
Audible actually gives a proud smile to Agnes, who nods and kind of gives you a nod, Lucian. Well, that's good. The last thing we need is to have unnecessary complications from it being discovered that you're killing the servants. This goes for everyone. Unless one of these creatures threatens you, simply pretend they are ordinary staff. We don't want to give any sort of reaction, positive or negative.
The
If we
only
attack them, that makes us look bad. And if we make it clear we're scared of them, that will make any potential allies flock to our enemies.
I think that you are on.
So we shouldn't remind everyone what these creatures have done.
I think that we should remind people what they have done. These things have done, but I think in the less of a sense of like what Ray is here saying is like I don't think that we should react to these things except for when people are like discussing about it, like when we talk to our potential allies, we can remind them, hey, you remember last time we saw these things, and we can tell them our own experiences with these things.
The only issue is these things are progressing. All the Concordia has to do is say that they're aiming to get them like us, and they've made considerable progress from what you're saying. So what's like they're going to go along the routes of look what we're doing. We're making progress. There's no harm. They're docile.
For now,
I
to
was
say
going to
something
say,
that
is there a way that we could, I don't know, secretly agitate the creatures?
that is something that I had considered too, Caleb. That's a really good, astute observation because I was thinking the same thing. I don't think that we should do anything, but if they attack, hello, it's a perfect opportunity to, take care of the situation. But like you're right. Because I'm so, knowledgeable, would I know that there is a way to agitate them like without, being
Remember, you're dealing with something you've never seen an Icar beast like this before. This
I
is
know, but like
a three-way
any
semi-stable combination.
well, okay,
Because
so from
remember,
what
it's
I know,
created whenever a two-way Icar beast kills a
I
third
will do
person,
this
which makes it
from my
three-way.
fucking memory. Right. So there's actually a little information about how to trigger a three-way, but we do know that if we trigger there is a possible way to trigger a two-way. We just have to figure out what those triggers are.
You guys, do you really think we should do that?
Well, it certainly
Yes.
would be a good way to turn people against these creatures if they
Yes.
suddenly started attacking
And it would turn
nobility.
them against the Concords as well. I do absolutely think it is necessary to, maybe push the limitations of what is possible. It could even be as simple as something that you say. That's how triggers work. It could
But
be a sight, it could be a sound, it could be anything.
Hmm.
but if we
Nothing
do
gets
that
the.
though,
Okay, what's his go ahead, then Caleb?
I was just gonna say, the Scar Concord, like Kaloum himself, can like do video recording or whatever you call it. And if they show people that we were tampering with these servants,
We're not
it'll
doing
come
any
back
tampering. We're just going to be
if we're
talking to them.
if we agitate them. Like if we talk to them and then they go berserk, it'll be pinned on us
You're
as interference.
misunderstanding. I think you're misunderstanding. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but I think what you're not understanding is that it doesn't really take a whole lot to trigger somebody. Like, you could just be innocently asking for a glass of water and it could trigger somebody. And or like if somebody slams their hand on a table, somebody with PTSD is gonna be like, ah, don't do that noise. Like, there are so many ways to go around that.
Or the NPCs respond. Caleb?
I forgot what he was going to say.
All right. Autumnfall kind of quirks a brow and nods to what's his, and Agnes kind of drums her fingers on the table. Actually, Lou, I think what's his has a point. It doesn't matter if it looks innocent. It's nobility. It doesn't matter how it looks. What matters is what people see.
Well, if
If
people see that we're innocently talking to a servant and the servant, attacks,
it's going to look like we made them upset and they attacked us. And somebody else might have gotten hurt in the process if we don't kill it fast enough.
So we need some way to. We need some way to make it set off on someone else.
Preferably someone that we can afford to lose.
Nothing would get the attention of nobility more than something that attacks nobility.
Problem is, Song kind of rubs at his chin. For his part, despite not being in the alliance, seeming genuinely invested, we got to make sure we do this in a way that's not seen, which he finger guns and points up at the lanterns. Not exactly easy.
And if Lucifer's here, he can see us
Yeah.
through solid objects.
That is a genuine concern of mine, is that he is somewhere around here. I haven't seen hide or hair of him yet, but that doesn't mean he's not here.
He's not.
Who said that?
Song.
She kind of like looks at him. How do you know?
Guys, I've been here for days. Only people that have come in and out is Queen Bitch, the Elf Girl, and Gray Hair. And, of course, the Giants.
How long have you been here?
It's been about 3-4 days now.
I mean, it's completely possible that they are here. They just haven't shown themselves.
Gives a shrug.
He does have the ability to be invisible.
All the time?
No.
He's got to go take a leak sometime.
Lucien just kind of gives a shrug, not really wanting to think about that.
You want my suggestion? Maybe the bathhouses? I doubt they're going to have anything observatory in there. We get all the nobles gathered up for a nice sauna, have some discussions, bring a servant in for some towels, say the right thing at the right time. Huh, well, look at that. One of the servants went wild, attacked one of the queens in the bath. Scandalous. You're very good at this. You're on the other side of it enough. You know how to instigate it.
Lucien's blushing a little bit. In the bath, really?
Might
I
be
mean,
right.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, people are
It would be hard to ignore
exposed.
such an indiscretion.
Yeah, they're defenseless when you're in a bath.
Of course, that means we will be as well, but
And clutches at her amulet. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tibetans are pretty good at hiding things, but not that good.
I was gonna
And
say
re-
we're good at it.
and remember, even if this incident is successfully created, how we handle it is going to create a statement in of itself.
Well, like you said, this creature is going to have to make an attack. Maybe even like maybe we can like make it look like, hey, you need to stop, and then like if it continues, we have no choice but to, defend whoever it is that is getting hurt.
Certainly. We would just be gambling that nobody questioned why the King Tebedra brought a dagger into a bath.
Who says it has to be a dagger? She looks at like a butter knife.
I don't even know how I could sneak that in.
He just likes to eat toast when he's bathing. It's a thing.
And Song kind of pats you on the shoulder, Caleb, with a grin. I'll tell you more when you're older, but let's just say men like us have secret compartments everywhere.
Hold on. You do realize daggers are sharp, right?
It's called a sheath, Caleb.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, there's
Lucian's
people
like-
out there.
Lucian's like both blushing
And
and just like kind of shifting her eyes, and she leans into Agnes. Where are they going to put it?
Hey, when you're Caleb.
Caleb, I'm pretty sure Caleb's daggers don't even have sheaths. They're just like in a loop.
Yeah, well, might want to get one.
It's like the only possible solution would be to hide it in the bath beforehand.
Not a bad idea. Or have something that is a weapon but doesn't look like a weapon. Nobody can fault you if you manage to improvise something, but yeah, Ray might have a point. Would look pretty bad if we waltzed into that tub with axes and swords ready to go. Sort of makes it look like we set the servant up, and we want to make sure it does not look like we totally did exactly that.
You'll either need someone who can. We either need someone who can have a weapon that isn't a weapon, or has the ability to fight
I
without.
mean, what's a weapon that's not a weapon? You know.
I will flex my arms. Aha, I am a weapon.
Oh, gross.
Hey, man, guns count. And he holds out his hand to high five you.
Ah, I'll high five him back.
Lucian has like
Agnes
that
kind of
look
smirks a little bit, seeming to calm down slightly. All right.
I still think this is a
Question
bad idea, but
I have a very important question, Matthew.
Yes.
Whose muscles are bigger? This is for science.
between
science.
Wats's and Jay.
No, between Wats's, Jay, and Agnes. For science.
What's his muscles are thicker than both of theirs. Agnes's are leaner, but she is taller. Song is skinnier and less muscular than both of them. He's more like surfer fit than like powerlifter fit.
Okay.
Wats's takes the gold.
I beg to differ.
A matter of opinion.
You do have metal arms, so you kind of cheat.
Agnes kind of folds her fingers and nods to you. Yeah, I'm not super jazzed about it either, but whatever we do, we have to agree to do it together. If we start arguing amongst ourselves here, it's going to look terrible.
I think we should just let the Concord play their hand. That way, if it still falls apart, it's on them with no hint of subterfusion from us.
And I mean, we can't make our reactions too bad, you know? Like everybody already knows that we're against them, but if we make it look really bad, it could push people further away.
Indeed, it'll look like we're setting them up to fail. Maybe the story's been against them all along, and nobody wants to be on the wrong side of history, i.e., the losing
Precisely.
side.
Well, the way one thing I will say is this ball does have a few days left to it. We don't have to make a move now. We could try to see about hedging our bets.
All
Try
right.
to be ready for them to spring whatever they are doing, while at the same time maybe we try to prepare a. Maybe we look more into how we might be able to set these things off if we deem that's necessary as well.
Indeed. I'm inclined to agree with His Majesty. I say we wait. Yeah, anything that keeps the fight from breaking out here, I'm in favor.
And also think about it. As soon as these things come out, they're like all these guests are going to have the same reaction you two did when you first saw it. They're going to panic. They remembered what happened during the summer ball.
That's what they want. They want panic, I think.
You say that. As it stands, we have them outnumbered. The last thing they need to be doing is chasing off potential allies. Like it or not, and she actually looks up at the lanterns as she says this, like she's hoping Kaloum hears it. They're in just as dire straits as we are. This ball's going to make or break who lands on what sides during this war. If they're chancing having Icar beasts as public-facing butlers, that means they're desperate to prove their cause, to earn allies. We have them outnumbered, cornered. We just need to make sure they stay there without lashing out.
I also have to imagine losing one of the members of the Concord right before the ball did not look good on their alliance.
Indeed, it was a historically unprecedented conquest that hasn't been seen in a century. As it stands, I agree with His Majesty. We wait. Yeah, I agree. Song kind of gives a shrug. I'm game for whatever. But if you guys need someone to cause trouble, I'm your guy.
You'll be the first to know.
He gives you a grin and his ears kind of do a cute little wiggle.
Oh my god, that's so cute. Lucian kind of gives a giggle. She finds it charming.
You wink and blows you a kiss.
I am curious. Humor. What is his reaction when he sees all of us huddled in the corner?
You don't know. When you're in one of these booths, you can't see anyone else, but they can't see you either.
Well, I'll poke my head out to look in his direction.
Oh my god!
I want to see what if I can see what his trail of thought is after seeing all of us disappear into this booth.
Roll insight.
Okay,
using that inspiration.
Noted.
Yeah. 18.
Okay, very close. Real quick before I give your answer, Lucian.
She's going to ask, well, in the meantime, what do you think should be our current, I guess, actions?
And
recruit and kiss ass.
I was going to propose much of that, yes. Wait for our allies to hopefully join us. With any luck, our victory against Barbarous will have bolstered their morale. If not, then it'll be time to start looking out for new ones. And I hope we can count you among them, Your Majesty. She looks to King Song, who kind of blinks. Me?
Yeah, I mean, you would be a great addition to us. I think you're pretty cool.
He kind of looks a little hesitant, like he's not sure. Agnes kind of bites her lip and, Shadow Lilies on the Alliance. He gives a grin at that. Is she now? Well,
Oh, that's interesting.
Any side she's on must be the right one. And sure, I trust you girls. Why not? Count me in. Then he slaps his hand on the table.
That's interesting. Can I insight that exchange?
Roll insight. I'll have both of them.
Well-
Yeah. Everyone's deceiving everyone.
Yeah, it was kind of said earlier that, Jay, like, had a thing for Shadow Lily.
Yeah, I know. But I think Matt knows what I'm fishing for. 15
Indeed.
plus 1.
You can't get a read on Song. He's presenting pretty happy. He just seems genuinely happy to be included. His kingdom didn't take a side after the winter ball or after the summer ball, so it just seems like he's just fine with choosing the side that seemed convincing to him. You can't really glean much more than that. He's either being earnest or he's a good liar. Agnes, though, her emotions are plain as day on her face. All of you can easily pick up. She thinks she's lying and she knows it. As far as she's concerned, Shadow Lily's not going to show up. She's just trying to
Right.
bait Song into joining just with her presence. But as far as she's concerned,
Right.
Shadow Lily's not coming, and she doesn't even want her to come at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I kind of like was trying to catch on to, because like I know that whole situation. So she thinks that she's lying.
Yeah, but basically, she is saying it, trying to be convincing, like, oh, Shadow Lily's on the Alliance. If you join us, you get to hang out with her and be on her team. But she, as far as she's concerned, Shadow Lily's barely in the Alliance, and even if she is, she doesn't think she's going to come here, let alone be an ally. As far as she's concerned, Shadow Lily is to the Alliance what Tebadra was to the Concord.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Never mind.
All right, and what's is for
I answered
your
my own
insight
question.
on humor? As you poke your head out of the booth to get a look at him, you can see he's in a quiet conversation with one of the giants, but as he sees you looking toward him, he gives you a wave and a grin. With your insight, he's a pretty hard guy to read. He's pretty good at cloaking, assassin after all, but you do get the faintest hint of sadistic enjoyment. He knows you're scared and he's enjoying it.
Oh, I am not scared. I'm going to wave back. I might even blow him a small kiss. He is.
God, don't do that.
He is not scared. He's enjoying this,
Enjoy.
and he wants it to be obvious he's not scared.
Noted. He puts his head on his hand and kind of quirks a brow, and kind of considers you for a moment before you can see him. You can't hear it from your distance, obviously, but you can see him visibly, like before he kind of waves off the giant and gives you a small salute.
I'll return it. Just in that acknowledgement.
Yeah. Basically, he knows you guys at this point probably know what's up and are group thinking, and he knows you know, and you know he knows you know.
You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Politics, baby.
Humor totally knows that we know that we're onto them. He is relishing in, well, for some of you, fear.
Indeed. We've managed to avoid them knowing the specifics, assuming these things can't pick up what we're saying. But we can't avoid that, well, they know what we know. At this point, it's a matter of who plays their hand first. I say we hope for reinforcements and see how this plays out. But it feels good to at least not be outnumbered, Your Majesty. And she gives a respectful bow of the head to Song, who puts up his hands. I've always been a fan of the underdog.
Yeah, more entertaining that way.
Do any of you have any further business, or are you ready to break the meeting and return to your individual mingling?
Yeah,
I'll
no,
do whatever Aggie's doing.
I think I'm good. He's gonna be patient and wait for the alcohol to come.
Yeah, I'll
Well, you
wait
know
for
what?
my drink.
Do I have any alcohol/drugs in my inventory? I forget.
I know you had some Star Blast. I don't know if you have any left.
No, I poured it out.
Yeah, looking over your gear, yeah, I don't see any.
Yeah, I poured out the flask of Star Blast and filled it with Soul Silver.
Yeah, all you've got is your potions and poisons.
Do you still have that?
Over?
Which part?
The flask of Soul Silver.
Yeah, I still got it.
Okay, I'll keep
I,
an
I
eye.
got I have several actually.
Sweet. I might talk to you about that later.
All right. For now, you are left to your own devices. Anything of note before the night proceeds?
No, not in here.
Okay. Morning turns into afternoon. At this point, the lesser nobility of the ball are starting to just mingle freely. Caleb, many of your advisors go to strike up conversations with the giants and start just the process of kissing very large, intimidating ass in hopes of survival.
In hopes of survival.
So what are some of the lesser nobles that are out right now?
As
Just
mentioned,
kinda, like, mingling.
all of Caleb's advisors and the giants. That is all of the nobility that are currently present since Sundragon came alone. Autumnfall did say she's expecting guests, but they're not here yet. So at the moment, it's just the Tebadrins and the Humors. The giants appear to be important, judging from their fineries, as mentioned, but you don't pick up. You don't know enough specifics of giant culture to know who they are.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go and what is the nicest dressed giant?
The nicest dress, I guess, traditionally finest dressed, or just like finest dressed by giant standards.
By giant standards.
Uh, from the looks of it, probably that one in the gold armor.
I will go and I'll offer Aggie to come along if she wants. She doesn't have to, but I'm going to go and try to talk to the giant.
Okay. As you make your way over to the giants, the rest of you mingle with your guests of choice. And at about the point of noon, so you've been here for about an hour and a half at this point or so, the doors open. And you can see Wyborn and Aragos return with several people in tow. You notice a huge crowd of people in what appear to be Autumnfall fineries, and there's a lot of them.
Oh, that's interesting.
However, more prominent among them that I would assume would catch most of you guys' attention are two figures that you did not necessarily expect to see. President Shadow Lily and
Oh
Queen
yay!
Blackthorn.
Oh yay! I'm so happy they're here. Okay.
I knew they'd come.
You can see Shadow Lily has her usual retinue, which includes the alchemist. Blackthorn appears to have come alone.
Blackthorn came alone?
Yeah, Shadow Lily just has her usual retinue, which includes the alchemist.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Wyborn raises a hand as everyone looks towards the new arrivals. Please welcome our newest guests, those of noble blood from the Kingdom of Autumnfall. Queen Blackthorn has graced us with her presence. Blackthorn kind of gives a shy wave to everyone. And President Shadowlily has come all the way from the southern coast. You can see her ears kind of flatten, and she just looks away. She's not looking at any of you.
Oh. That's interesting. Is she like deliberately not looking at us?
Roll insight at disadvantage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We did, even though she didn't like him, we did kind of kill her dad.
Well, I
Technically
mean,
we didn't, but first off,
okay.
exciting fact.
16.
It's hard to say. You can't see her face. She's just refusing to look at you. You don't know why.
Oh, I know why.
Well, yeah, like you don't. Your insight check doesn't tell you why. Is more.
Well,
I
I
mean.
know why.
You are free to come to your own conclusions.
Thank you.
Queen Wyborn waves a hand, and dinner will be served along with drinks, enough for everyone, in a few hours. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves. The bathhouses are open, and a servant can show you to your quarters if you wish to sequester away. You can see Agnes visibly kind of fight back a shudder at the mention of the servants.
Yeah. I'll just grab her hand and just squeeze it.
Wyborn and Ergos make their way to the elevator, presumably to head back to her office. And as they disappear, everyone disperses and begins to mingle anew. You have a couple hours before dinner is served to mingle just with whoever you wish.
There are so many people I want to talk to.
Yeah, so basically for these sections, to make it a little more manageable, I'm basically going to say between each sort of event, because also realistically, you guys can't just go talk to somebody, get what you want out of them, and then immediately just like, all right, fuck off, and then go talk to the next person. So
Right.
basically, I'll say between each sort of major event, you can pick one person to mingle with, and of course, have any conversation you wish to have with them. But then you'll have to basically sit there and talk to them to look good until the next thing comes along that can give you an excuse to dip.
Okay.
No, I already know who I want to talk
Caleb's still
to.
waiting on the people he planned on talking to for this ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on some people, but I mean, I can talk to somebody in the meantime.
Yeah, so that's everyone who's present for now.
Where's
No
the
other
alchemist?
additional guests, at least right now, appear to be coming. But again, the ball lasts for a week. So, and you remember
Yeah.
last time people were still showing up like days into the ball. So,
The alchemist doing?
with that said, what's that, Zeph?
What is the alchemist doing?
You can see that the alchemist is currently in discussion with President Shadowlily. You cannot see her face, but you can see from the look on his that whatever it is likely good for him and bad for her.
Oh.
Cool. Let's go talk to him.
All right. Zephyr's going to go talk to Shadowlily. What are you doing?
I want to go and talk with humor. I want to see if he wants to brag about what they've been up to.
Oh.
Is going to chat up the enemy. Lucian?
Come back to me.
Caleb? You don't have to talk to anybody, just if there's anyone you'd like to say something to.
Let's see. Caleb's still waiting for the main people he wanted to talk to. So he's kind of bored. He's going to try to find Dimitri.
All right. And yeah, Dimitri typically does not leave your side too far. He's just sitting next to you. All right.
Caleb's just going to ask him, so, you found anything to do yet?
Honestly, I'm actually enjoying just listening to all of this. This is fascinating.
catch anything interesting.
Hmm. Well, I can't understand a word that the big guys are saying. It's all giant tongue, I guess. But that old guy with the kind of raspy voice, he's the Khan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've caught a few snippets from him. I'm not really sure what to think of it. I think it might just be old stories back from whenever he was still a killer. Whatever it was, the giants seem to think it's funny. But
Interesting.
now that more people are showing up, I'm planning to just eavesdrop. He gives you a smirk.
I would be lying if I said that wasn't part of why I brought you along.
He puts a hand to his chest in mock offense, but leans on the table with
I
a
said
smile.
part.
Yeah. I'll be your hearing ear, dog. You know, once I actually hear something I can understand.
Do I hear him say that?
Oh yeah, you guys haven't split yet, so
How would you feel if you could?
I'd probably be interested. I hope you're not planning to give me a dictionary. And he waves his hand in front of his eyes.
Very, very funny.
I like to think so.
Well, let me double check this spell. Okay. I don't think I can cast this on other people. Can I cast comprehend language on other people?
Let me check.
It's not very clear in the wording.
Did you tell you usually if it's self or not?
It
Yeah,
doesn't
has to
say
be you.
self.
Yeah,
It doesn't say
yeah.
self.
Yeah, it says self. Range area self.
Oh. I guess
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
can't
see
cast
that.
on him, unfortunately.
Okay.
I thought she was going to say, "Oh, I can give you your eyesight back and do some sort of magic."
What?
I
yeah,
don't think that's how it works either.
Life
I
changing.
don't have that capability, and I also don't have the other spell. Well, maybe later on this week I can help you with that.
Sure. You go play noble lady. Caleb and I are gonna find something to do.
Lucian mutters, "I am a noble lady."
He just gives a smirk, definitely having heard you. Lucian, have you decided who you wish to mingle with?
Okay, so there are a couple preliminary things.
Yeah, pick one, at least for now.
Well, okay, but like there's some things that I need to ask before I choose.
Okay.
Okay, where the fuck did my paper go? 1 second. Oh, okay. So, first of all, what are Sun Dragon what are the queens doing, and what is Surfer Dude doing? His name is escaping me right now.
Okay.
Sun Dragon.
It's song. Sorry, my brain just
Point of inspiration. What's this? Sun Dragon is leaving to go strike up conversation with Blackthorn, who appears to be approaching her just as eagerly. Song is currently in conversation with Autumnfall. You can guess what kind.
Oh yeah.
However, you can see his eyes keep drifting from her to Shadow Lily. He's likely going to dip soon.
Oh,
That's
unrequited love.
yeah. That's unfortunate for her. What's Aggie doing?
As mentioned, she is going to talk to Blackthorn, who's approaching her just as eagerly.
Yeah, I thought that's where she was going. Okay, so they went there. Hmm. Hmm. I'm trying to like figure out strategically what would make more sense for me to go to.
Well, here, while you think, I'll hit up some of the others.
Okay, thank you.
What's his? As the preliminary conversations of the night begin before dinner, you approach the Father Khan. You can see the giants kind of tilt their heads at you curiously, but don't stop. I'm even looking at you with what you can tell is thinly veiled almost amazement, like as if the giants, who are like almost 30 feet tall, are thinking, wow, this guy's got some nuts approaching him. But humor, for his part, does not stop you, and in fact even smiles as you approach and scooches to make room in the booth for you and gestures for you to sit across from him.
Yeah, I will accept.
Scooch.
Well, well, well. He puts his hands on his knees and leans forward with a smile. Let me say, it's an honor to meet you face to face, Colonel. I hope you enjoyed my hosting at the last ball. He kind of butterfly lashes at you.
It was very unforgettable.
I like to think I'm a great host. He leans back and crosses his hands over his chest, seeming for all the world casual and relaxed, like he could not give a crystal fuck that you're sitting across from him. But I know how you nobles think. You're here, you probably want something, right? So let's skip the, what's the word, niceties, and get to the point. I got nothing to hide from you, Your Highness.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm mostly just like, we're trying to figure out what y'all are up to with the all servants.
Well,
But what's the angle that y'all are going for with it?
well, they certainly make they're certainly more reliable than the old help, and we don't even have to pay them.
So cheap labor.
Nobles to the end. He puts his hands behind his head and lays back relaxedly. Wasn't easy, though. Took a lot of experimentation to get to that point, especially after Dr. Knight ghosted us. Guessing that you had something to do with that?
Eh, kinda, yeah. She got to us, we got to her.
Got to here having the meaning of a grave.
Mm. Last I heard, I'm not too sure what's happened to her at this point. She left. I haven't seen her since.
Oh, you let her live. Interesting.
We're not complete monsters. Well,
Well,
it,
not
it,
until one
it
of us cuts
helped.
you open, anyway, huh?
Yeah, true. It did help when we were stabilized a bit.
Hmm. He kind of rolls his head side to side in thought. I bet. He runs a hand through his silvery hair and leans an arm against the booth and looks at you with a raised eyebrow. So you really just came here to talk to me about the help?
Yeah, talk to you about the help. See what y'all have been up to.
Oh, well, we've been busy, I'll give you that. Of course, your little girlfriend got a glimpse of what we've been working on.
Let me think. Who's talking about? Like
You know, the
like
redhead.
ah, definitely not my girlfriend.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders. Huh. Well, she knows what she saw, and I'm guessing you know it now too. Like I said, I got nothing to hide from you, Colonel. He twirls one of the serving knives between his fingers, doing that thing where he like spins it on the knuckle. Gotta say though, it's so weird talking to you after all this. Honestly, I figured you'd come and kill me first. You know, work your way from the outside in, but no, you started picking off the ones closest to her first.
Yeah, no fun otherwise.
Well, let's make
No.
this interesting. And
Oh.
he flicks the knife and levels it at you as he leans on the table. I got nothing to hide from you, and I've seen a lot more of you than I think you realize. So, let's make a little game out of this. You answer a question of mine, I'll answer a question of yours.
Hmm. You know what? That could be kind of interesting. I'll let you
There's-
ask first.
Oh, you're so generous. I was going to say the same thing to you. But I'll bite. What's it like being one of them?
Hmm.
I wouldn't know. They don't let me play with this stuff. My only job's to, if you get a little too far out of line.
Yeah, I get that. Honestly, I wouldn't want to play with it. If I'm being completely honest, I tried once. It turned out badly. But as far as what it's like, at first, it's confusing because you don't know what's going on.
Oh, I bet. Happened to the redhead after, her brain got all scrambled by her brother.
Yeah. But other than that, as I said, it's a bit confusing because you're still trying to figure out which one's in control or if it's mutual.
You can see him smiling, as if just the idea of you being confused and scared and not knowing what's going on is making him happy.
Yeah, but it passes.
As do we all. He taps his knife on the table. Thanks. That's enlightening. Go ahead. I'm an open book.
So, what do you get out of being in the Concorde?
I guess that does make sense that you'd want to know that, huh? Well, let me be a little wake-up call for you, Your Highness. He leans forward. Not all of us get something out of this, you know? Sure, for some of us, it's something personal. Old Queenie's got a bone to pick with the political world. Wants everyone to believe that, well, not my story to tell, but let's just say that she's got a lot to prove. And of course, Ergos, she's just got mommy issues and makes that the Queen's problem. Old, what was his name? Tebedra? He was just in it to save his own skin. Me? I'm a simple man. I know my place in the world. I don't care what she or any of them do with this ichor. I don't care what you do to try and get rid of it. All that matters to me is that I kill as many of you as possible before you take me down next.
So you're in it for the sport of killing.
Is it really a sport if you're the best in Yav at it? No, this isn't sport for me. This is like breathing for you. You said it was confusing being an Ichor Beast, right? Well, did it ever stop being confusing? Was there ever a moment where you just realized, he snaps his fingers, right, that's what I am. That's what I'm supposed to do.
That's a fair point.
Like that. See, I'm not like the Alefakirs or the pretenders on the Tebadran throne or like your military folks back home. I was born a killer. I'm going to spend my life a killer. And then, whenever you guys get around to it, I'm going to die a killer. But I'm going to make sure none of you forget it. That's really it. I once heard somebody say something fun about people like me. Sometimes you can't reason or bribe them. Some people just want to watch the world burn. And let me tell you, my dad learned pretty damn fast that I'm real good at starting fires.
That is fair. That is fair. Just trying to understand you a little bit better, you know?
Thing is about reading a book, you know how they say you can't judge them by their cover?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Well, not so with me. I like to think of myself less as a book and more of a pamphlet, more of a scroll, you know what I mean?
So straightforward, easy to read, and not really hiding anything, as you put it.
Yeah. Of course, I got some things I'm not allowed to say, but I can be convinced to part with it. I don't care who wins all of this. All I care about is another notch in the bed frame. Not in the way that you nobility do it. I'm not so banal. I have one of the highest kill counts of anyone in Yav. Any soldier, any king. And I'm going to make sure it stays that way. Until it kills me. I know I can't beat you. Not with you and all of your freak friends together. I know that once you eventually get around to it, don't worry, these guys can't understand a word we're saying. But I know once you get around to it, you're going to cut your way through the mountains like they're not even there, work your way all the way to where I'm hiding out, and you'll kill me. Nobody's going to care. I wasn't even allowed to visit with her myself until recently, after we started taking casualties. I'm a loose end. Even if they won, they would just get rid of me afterwards. But I'm not a man of peace either. I'm a killer. Dad knew what I was good at, and he made sure I was the best. And that's all you need to know.
But that's also how we won't have to go through the mountains to get to you. You might just come and meet us on the battlefield to begin with.
He kind of looks down at his feet still in the clay. I don't know if I'm going much of anywhere, friend.
Eh, you have other ways of transportation.
Got me there. Shall we keep playing, or please tell me you're going to try and appeal to my better nature?
Oh,
I've been waiting
no.
for one of you guys to try and do that for months.
I'm already well aware you're not going to switch sides.
Then
So
we
where
understand
is
each
it?
other.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean I can't try to get more information out of you. Because you did say you are willing to part with information on your supposed allies.
Sure. Can't tell you anything that would fuck things up for me, but sure, I'm willing to play.
Yeah, just one more.
He flicks the knife so that it's facing away from you now and towards him. All right. Let's try and find something interesting. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yeah, boy.
The political game begins. As the summer solstice draws closer, guests are beginning to pile in. To your surprise, the Western Alliance has indeed come to support you. However, Blackthorn is being evasive, and Zephyr intends to confront the alchemist about his presence here.
You mean Shadow
Blackthorn.
Lily?
Yeah, I always get them mixed up. Sorry. They both have like a darkness themed name, and they're both in the Alliance. That one's on me. Even while I was writing my notes for this session, I had to keep fixing it because I kept getting it backwards. But yeah, Shadow Lily. Meanwhile, Blackthorn appears to simply be happy to be reunited with Sundragon, but where she stands and her explanation, if any, for not being here remains to be discovered. The Scar Concord are not being subtle. Wyborn is wearing her allegiance on her sleeve. Humor has declared that he has no intention of helping you. He's only helping the Concord because he wants to create as much Yavik bloodshed as he possibly can before you inevitably kill him. And the Scar Concord themselves appear to have somehow found a way to at least demonstratively train feral Ichor beasts, turning them into seemingly docile servants. The party and this Concord appear to now be deep in the political swath. And what happens from here is going to depend on how well everyone can play the game.
Yeah, it's turning out quite interesting.
I do my best. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer who's all gussied up and ready to party. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. I'll be posting that shortly. Support our episodes, posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get your podcasts from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with a PH, don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link to be posted after the stream as well. On Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd. The TNO are capitalized if you want to get immediate updates whenever we go live, as well as updates on everything else we're doing. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Thursdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for our Monday turn Thursday game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globetrotting treasure hunters assembling the artifacts of the gods in a race against technology-worshipping cultists. Our final chapter is upon us. We're getting through the last leg of the story, so if you want to catch up on our YouTube channel and see the finale, now's a good time to do it. Thanks everyone at the tables for much for playing. Thanks everyone at home for much for watching, and we'll see you all next week.